Well, with the Bang Boo video done, I think it only makes sense for me to do this one next. Hello everyone, my name is Rune, and with 3.0 on the horizon, I wanted to go over all of the currently available disk drive sets. Disk drives? Drive disk? What the hell are these things called? Hang on. Disk drives. They're called drive disks. I've been calling them disk drives for the longest time. Whatever. Anyways, I wanted to go over all of the currently available drive disk sets and make a complete guide on what each of them do, who they're made for, and which ones to farm. Before we get started, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing afterward. Shout out to the channel members as always, and let's get into it. We're going to go in order from the area patrol cleanup stages, starting from Monster and Weirdo and ending in Dragon Taming Chariot. That means that we'll be starting off with Chaotic Metal and Swing Jazz. Chaotic Metal has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% to ether damage. Its 4-piece effect increases crit damage by 20% and has a further 44.4% increase to this effect when any member inflicts corruption at max stacks. This disc set was best in slot for Zhu Yuan at the beginning of the game, but Zhu Yuan is better off running 4 pieces of Woodpecker Electro as opposed to this set. The main reason being that Woodpecker has better uptime for her and isn't reliant on an anomaly effect to be applied to trigger it. And with the new set for Pyrosis coming out in 3.0, the Sky Ablaze, this will fundamentally be the new best 4-piece for Zhu Yuan. There is no reason at all to be intentionally farming for a Chaotic Metal. None of the other Ether characters benefit from the 2-piece effect, so you're better off dismantling all of your Chaotic Metal pieces. Swing Jazz has a 2-piece effect of plus 20% energy regen. Its 4-piece effect increases all teammates' damage by 15% for 12 seconds after launching a chain attack or an ultimate. This disc set is primarily used for its 2-piece effect, and nearly every support and a few stunners want this as their 2-piece. You wouldn't typically build agents on the 4-piece of this set because there are just better options out there, with the only exception being Jafufu on double stunner teams. This cleanup stage is not worth your stamina in my opinion, and you can always craft Swing Jazz pieces at Bardic Needle if you need them. Fanged Metal has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% to physical damage. Its 4-piece effect is a 35% damage increase for the equipper when an assault is inflicted. This effect lasts for 12 seconds. This is a very solid disc set for most physical DPS. Its 4-piece effect is very good for physical anomaly agents, and Starlight Billy can make use of its 2-piece effect as well. It's a fairly solid set to use your stamina on. Hormone Punk has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% attack. Its 4-piece effect is a 25% attack increase for the equipper when they swap in as the active character. This set has a cooldown of 20 seconds. This set is relatively used for Hugo, and that's it. The 2-piece effect is not something that most agents would care for, and every other DPS agent has a better or more preferred set in mind as opposed to this one. Great for Hugo if you have him, but better off as dismantle fodder if you don't. This cleanup stage is a fine place to farm with all things considered. Shockstar Disco has a 2-piece effect of plus 6% impact. Its 4-piece effect makes basic attacks, dash attacks, and dodge counters inflict 20% more daze to the main target. This set has been power crept by King of the Summit. Both the 2-piece and 4-piece effects are worse than King of the Summit because a handful of stunners don't necessarily care about the impact stat anymore, instead opting for better buffs through their EX skills for your main DPS. If you really care about stunning the enemy though, then having your stunner be on 4-piece King of the Summit and 2-piece Shockstar is a decent build for older agents. But just know that until we get a stunner that makes the impact stat more relevant, this disc set will continue to be irrelevant until further notice. Thunder Metal has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% to electric damage. Its 4-piece effect is a 28% attack increase for as long as the enemy is shot. This is a very niche disc set. It is reliant on constant shock procs to maintain its uptime, and it is only used in mono shock teams with Yanagi or Harumasa. Grace would be the main character that could make use of this set, but she much more prefers Chaos Jazz instead of Thunder, mainly due to Chaos's 2-piece effect. This cleanup stage sucks. Do not waste your stamina here. You can craft any Shockstar pieces at Elfie if you're in desperate need of them. Woodpecker Electro has a 2-piece effect of plus 8% crit rate. Its 4-piece effect grants plus 9% attack to the equipper per basic attack, dodge counter, and EX skill that lands a critical hit for 6 seconds. This effect can be stacked if all actions performed inflict crits, giving the agent a plus 27% attack increase. This attack increase is a final attack buff. In Zenless, there are 2 types of attack stats. Base attack, which includes the raw character attack stat and whatever attack is tied to the character's weapon, and final attack, which is the attack stat that is calculated after disk drive sets. Woodpecker is one of these sets, which is why this is the best general use 4-piece build for attacker agents. The 2-piece effect is also a very solid option to patch up crit ratios, so you can use this on characters that give themselves an insane amount of crit damage. Soul Rock has a 2-piece effect of plus 16% defense. Its 4-piece effect is a 40% damage reduction buff upon getting hit or losing HP. This set has a cooldown of 15 seconds. This is the worst disk drive set in the game. The only character in the game that currently scales off of defense is Ben Bigger, and he doesn't even want this set considering that he doesn't use 100% of his defense in his damage calculation. And I shouldn't need to tell you why a set that relies on getting hit at any moment in a fight is bad. And even if rupture agents can trigger this set without needing to get hit, the effect is still downright horrible. This cleanup stage is the ultimate 50-50 experience, and you would be better off spending your time crafting woodpecker pieces at Bardic Needle than wasting stamina here. Puffer Electro has a 2-piece effect of plus 8% pen ratio. Its 4-piece effect is a plus 20% ultimate damage increase alongside a plus 15% attack increase for 12 seconds when the equipper launches an ultimate. The 2-piece effect for this set is really good. It is the quickest way to get an overall DPS increase due to how good defense ignore is in this game. You wouldn't typically use the 4-piece effect on any DPS or supports, but there are niche scenarios like agents who don't have a dedicated disk drive set and can make use of dial-in. Infernal Metal has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% to fire damage. Its 4-piece effect grants plus 28% crit rate to the equipper when hitting a burning enemy. This is the second worst disk drive set in the game. The only agent that can make adequate use of this set is Soldier 11. And even then, Woodpecker is still better for her, and every fire agent in the game has a better set in mind compared to this set. This cleanup stage is not worth it for your stamina. You can always craft Puffer Electro pieces at LV. Freedom Blues has a 2-piece effect of plus 30 anomaly proficiency. Its 4-piece effect reduces anomaly buildup resistance for the equipper's element by 20% for 8 seconds when an EX skill hits an enemy. This effect does not stack for the same element. The only agent that uses the 4-piece of this set nowadays is Sokaku for Mono Ice or Yuzu Ice comps. The 2-piece effect is the general 2-piece for nearly every anomaly agent. Polar Metal has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% to ice damage. Its 4-piece effect increases the damage of basic attacks and dash attacks by 20%. And when anyone on the team inflicts freeze or shatter, that effect gets increased by another 20% for 12 seconds. This set has been power crept beyond repair. This set was originally designed for Ellen, but she no longer relies on mono ice teams anymore, and every other ice character in the game does not want this 2-piece effect at all. Another cleanup node that is not worth your time. Craft any Freedom Blues pieces at Bardic Needle. And that is all of the based 1.0 disk drive sets in the game. From now on, we'll be talking about disk drive sets that have been added with the release of Bernice and Caesar. Chaos Jazz has a 2-piece effect of plus 30 anomaly proficiency. Its 4-piece effect grants plus 15% to both fire and electric damage. It also increases EX skill and assist attack damage by 20%. Assist attacks are the attacks that agents do after quick assisting in. When the equipper switches on field, the buff extends for 5 seconds, and this extend trigger has a cooldown of 7.5 seconds. This set was solely made for Bernice and Yanagame. You can also use the 2-piece effect on any other anomaly agents since it's the same effect as Freedom Blues. Protopunk has a 2-piece effect of plus 15% shield effect. Its 4-piece effect is a 15% damage increase that lasts for 10 seconds whenever any teammate triggers defensive or evasive assists. You cannot stack 2 instances of Protopunk. This set has been power crept by Bunny in Wonderland. Its horrible 2-piece effect, tied with its 4-piece effect being reliant on assist points, makes this one of the worst drive disc sets in the game. This set does have niche use scenarios on double stunner comps though. This is yet another cleanup node that can be ignored by visiting Bardic Needle. Branch and Blade Song has a 2-piece effect of plus 16% crit damage. Its 4-piece effect increases the equipper's crit damage by 30% if their anomaly mastery exceeds or equals 115, and when any teammate applies freeze or triggers shatter, the equipper gets plus 12% crit rate for 15 seconds. Miyabi is the only person in the game that wants this 4-piece. However, this set is the best 2-piece in the game for DPS agent. A general crit damage increase without the need for rolls will always be good. Astral Voice has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% attack. Its 4-piece effect grants 1 stack of Astral upon quick assisting in on any character, to a max of 3 stacks that lasts for 15 seconds. Each Astral stack is an 8% damage increase to characters that quick assist in. You cannot stack 2 instances of Astral Voice together. This set is very good due to any character that has the ability to trigger quick assist being able to proc this effect. This set has been power crept by Moonlight Lullaby, but is still a very good set to use on Astra or Yuzaha with Sokaku. In general, hypercarry comps want a support that uses Moonlight and a support that uses Astral to prevent stacking effects. This is the best cleanup node in the game. BNBS's 2-piece effect and Astral Voice as a whole are very good sets to have on your account at the ready. Shadow Harmony has a 2-piece effect of plus 15% aftershock and dash attack damage. Its 4-piece effect grants a stack of a buff upon hitting an aftershock attack or a dash attack. The equipper gains plus 4% of both attack and crit rate per stack that lasts for 15 seconds. Sanbi, Orphe, and M1 Harumasa really want this 4-piece. It is a solid set for aftershock and dash attack DPSs, but you would only invest in the 4-piece for these characters and never give anyone the 2-piece. Phaethon's Melody has a 2-piece effect of plus 8% Anomaly Master. Its 4-piece effect increases Anomaly proficiency by 45 for 8 seconds when any teammate uses an EX skill, and if the EX skill user is not the equipper, then the equipper's ether damage is increased by 25%. Not only was this made for Vivian, but it also serves as the best in slot 2-piece option for Yuzaha and Promea. Arya and Nongon Yu can also use the 4-piece effect from this set as well. This cleanup node is fairly solid to farm it, but I would personally recommend going to Elfie for more pieces after you've built your Shadow Harmony characters. Yonkwai Tales has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% HP. Its 4-piece effect increases crit rate by 4% whenever an EX skill, chain attack, or an ultimate is used, which can stack up to 3 times and last for 15 seconds. And once an agent has 3 stacks of this buff, their sheer damage increases by 10%. Every Rupture agent in the game wants this as their 4-piece. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The 2-piece effect can be used on Lucia and Zhao to help them reach their HP thresholds. But other than that, no one else in the game wants to run this 2-piece unless it's a Rupture agent running all 4. King of the Summit has a 2-piece effect of plus 6% daze to all forms of attacks. Its 4-piece effect increases all teammates' crit damage by 15% when an EX skill or chain attack is used by a stunner agent, and when the equipper's crit rate is higher than or equal to 50%, this will further increase the crit damage by another 15%, lasting for 15 seconds. You cannot stack 2 instances of King of the Summit together. Every stunner in the game, with the exception of Nongon Yu, wants this 4-piece, and for Hugo teams, make sure that the main stunner has King of the Summit and the secondary stunner has either Swing Jazz or Proto Punk. This is the second best cleanup node in the game, and you should always be farming this node whenever you can, solely for your stunners. Dawn's Bloom has a 2-piece effect of plus 15% basic attack damage. Its 4-piece effect further increases basic attack damage by 20% for 25 seconds when the equipper is an attack agent and uses an EX skill or ultimate. This set is mainly used for C, with Sissia primarily preferring Astral Voice instead. This set is fairly weak considering it only buffs basic attacks and nothing else, so most DPS agents will be better off running something else instead. Moonlight Lullaby has a 2-piece effect of plus 20% energy regen. Its 4-piece effect is an 18% damage increase for all teammates for 25 seconds when the equipper is a support agent and uses an EX skill or an ultimate. You cannot stack 2 instances of Moonlight Lullaby together. This is the best dis set for support agents in the game, excluding Astra in most cases. Every support agent on your account should be on this 4-piece, and there are various other characters who can make use of the 2-piece effect since it is also energy regen. Sadly though, this is another cleanup node that is not worth your stamina, and you're better off crafting your Moonlight pieces at Bardic Needle. Whitewater Ballad has a 2-piece effect effect of plus 10% to physical damage. Its 4-piece effect grants plus 10% crit rate when the equipper is within any ether veil and will persist for 15 seconds after leaving said ether veil. And if the equipper is an attack character, any activation or extension of an ether veil grants plus 10% to both crit rate and attack for 30 seconds. Yeisha Guang is the only character in the game that wants this set. However, Starlight Billy can make use of the 2-piece effect if you have godlike rolls in some pieces though, so that's something to keep in mind. Shining Aria has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% to ether damage. Its 4-piece effect grants plus 36 anomaly proficiency for 8 seconds when the equipper's basic attack hits an enemy. And when any enemy on field is stunned, the equipper's damage increases by 25% for 18 seconds. This set is made only for Arya, and no one else in the game benefits from either the 2-piece or 4-piece effect but her. This cleanup note is very good if you have Ye Guang and Arya, but if you don't have either of these characters, it's best to ignore this note entirely. Bunny in Wonderland has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% HP. Its 4-piece effect is a 6% damage increase that stacks up to 3 times whenever the equipper is a defense agent that does an EX skill or any teammate triggers defensive or evasive assists. This lasts for 25 seconds. This is the Moonlight Lullaby for defense agents. Every single defense agent in the game wants this 4-piece, unless you're using DPS Ben. And Lucia can make use of the 2-piece if you have good rolls on some pieces. Notes from the Chain has a 2-piece effect of plus 10% to ice damage. Its 4-piece effect grants plus 48 anomaly proficiency for 30 seconds when the equipper triggers a bloom, and when the equipper triggers freeze, their all attribute anomaly and disorder damage increases by 16% for 30 seconds. Promea is the only agent that wants this set, and no one noteworthy wants to use the 2-piece effect from this set. This cleanup node is very good to farm if you have Promea and a bunch of defense agents you want to change their builds on, but if you don't have Promea, you can always craft Bunny in Wonderland pieces at Bardic Needle. And lastly, to touch on the new disk drive sets coming in 3.0, Withering Salon is only going to be used by Velena, and like I said at the beginning of the video, the Sky Ablaze is not only going to be Pyrosis' best in slot set, but Zhu Yuan will also be able to make use of this new set. And that is my guide to every drive disc set in the game before Zenless 3.0 drops. Let me know how you guys feel about this video and if it was any help to you guys at all. Also be sure to let me know if I've made any mistakes or missed out on any niche use scenarios too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I've got to get started on the next one. I'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.